This video is about the driver sat alone until a famous actor hugged her son. If this story inspires you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The sun was dipping low in the sky, casting a golden hue over Pine Hill, a small town where everyone knew each other's names and secrets were as rare as solar eclipses. Among them was Clara, a single mother who navigated life with the grace of an unsteady dancer. After a long day of shuttling kids to school, working her part-time job at the diner, and tending to her home, she found herself parked in her car, the engine idling softly. Clara gripped the steering wheel, her knuckles white from the weight of her worries. She had dreams that felt as distant as the stars, overshadowed by bills that stacked high on her kitchen table and the uncertainty of the future. Her son, Oliver, was in the back seat, quietly doodling in his sketchbook. At just 6 years old, he possessed a world of imagination, transforming mundane moments into vibrant adventures. Today, however, Clara sensed a shadow creeping over his spirit. "Mommy, can we go to the park?" Oliver asked, looking up with hopeful eyes as if his innocence could penetrate her exhaustion. "Just a little longer, buddy. Let me finish this call," Clara replied, forcing a smile. She was trying to arrange a shift swap with her coworker, hoping for an extra hour here or there to make ends meet. Minutes turned into an agonizing silence, the kind that could wrap around a person like a thick fog. Oliver went back to his drawings, unaware of the internal battles raging within his mother. His sketches, colorful, fantastical representations of creatures and landscapes, were a stark contrast to Clara's grey reality. "Mom?" Oliver's voice broke through her thoughts. "Can I show you my new drawing?" Clara turned, and for a moment the weight of her worries lifted. Oliver held up a page filled with swirling colors, a dragon soaring in a bright blue sky, a castle with tall spires, and a rainbow arcing overhead. "It's beautiful, Oliver," she exclaimed, her heart swelling with pride. "Do you think dragons are real?" T asked earnestly. "Of course, they live in our imaginations," she said, her smile genuine now. In that instant, she realized that, despite the challenges they faced, Oliver's spirit wasn't broken, and she wanted to nurture that resilience. After hanging up, Clara sighed. It was a dead end. The diner couldn't afford to give her more hours without cutting into someone else's income. Feeling defeated, she turned to see Oliver still engrossed in his drawings. "All right, let us go to the park," she declared, her heart lifting just a bit. The park was modest, a single swing set, a slide, and a small pond where ducks paddled lazily. But to Oliver, it was a kingdom of possibilities. Clara watched as he dashed toward the swings, laughter bubbling from his lips, the sound a soothing balm to her weary soul. "Push me higher, Mommy," he called, his face alight with glee. Clara obliged, her heart swelling with joy, even as their surroundings felt like a stark contrast to his vibrant spirit. This was not the life she envisioned for him. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows over the park, Clara's phone buzzed. It was a text from her sister. "Remember, the film crew is in town. They are redoing a premiere at the old theater tonight. It might be fun." Clara considered it briefly, but the thought of more expenses weighed heavily on her mind. She was too tired, too beaten down by life to think about a night out. But when she glanced at Oliver, his eyes glistening with delight watching the other kids play, she felt a flicker of hope. Maybe a little fun could shine a light into their dimmed lives. "Okay, let us go see them," Clara said, surprising herself. Oliver's face lit up, and with a burst of energy, he grabbed her hand, pulling her toward the entrance of the park. They arrived at the theater, where red carpets had been rolled out and bright lights twinkled against the night sky. Clara's heart raced, not from excitement but anxiety. She felt small among the glitz and glamour. But Oliver was oblivious, his imagination running wild. "Look, Mommy, that is where the actors will come out." As the stars of the film began to arrive, the crowd erupted into cheers. Clara stood back, feeling a mix of pride and longing for what she couldn't provide for her son. Oliver, however, was in his element. He waved at the actors as if they were old friends. Suddenly, there was a commotion. The crowd surged forward, and before Clara could grasp what was happening, a tall figure emerged, the kind of person who seemed to shimmer under the lights. It was Ethan Wells, a well-known actor celebrated for his roles in heartwarming films. Oliver's eyes widened with awe. "Mommy, it is him," he whispered, pointing excitedly. Before she could respond, Ethan paused, scanning the crowd, and his gaze landed on Oliver. "Hey there, little buddy," Ethan called, kneeling down to Oliver's eye level. The world around them faded as Oliver stepped closer, starstruck. "I love your movies," he exclaimed, bubbling over with energy. "Thank you, that means a lot," Ethan replied warmly, his smile genuine. What is your name? Oliver, he said proudly. Do you want to be an artist when you grow up? Ethan asked, noticing the sketchbook clutched tightly in Oliver's hands. Yes, I want to draw dragons, Oliver replied, his dreams spilling forth like confetti. Clara's heart swelled seeing her son so vibrant. Well, keep drawing. You never know where it might take you, Ethan encouraged, a glimmer of recognition shining in his eyes as he glanced at Clara. And you, Mom, you're doing an amazing job. Keep it up. Clara felt the warmth of his words wrap around her, as if the weight she had been carrying had momentarily lifted. But before she could respond, Ethan reached out, pulling Oliver into a brief hug. The moment felt surreal as Oliver's laughter rang through the air, echoing in Clara's heart. In that instant, surrounded by bright lights and cheers, Clara realized that hope can come in unexpected forms. She watched her son's face light up, and for the first time in a long while, she felt a flicker of possibility ignite within her. It was a reminder that even amidst struggles, kindness and connection could foster resilience. As the night wore on, Clara and Oliver remained at the theater, enchanted by the spectacle. They watched the stars walk the red carpet, but it was the simple hug, the shared moment between her son and Ethan that transformed everything for Clara. With Oliver by her side, she began to dream again. Perhaps she could find opportunities that would allow her to share in his joy, to support him as he chased his dreams, just as Ethan Wells had inspired him. And maybe, just maybe, she could learn to believe in her own dreams once more. As they headed home, Clara held Oliver's hand tightly, knowing that life would still be a challenge, but the beauty of the human spirit, resilient, kind, and fiercely hopeful, was alive in both of them. And with that thought, Clara knew that together they could weather any storm. To be continued. As Clara and Oliver walked home, the stars twinkling overhead felt like a blanket of infinite possibilities. Oliver babbled excitedly about his encounter with Ethan Wells, weaving tales of dragons and superheroes, while Clara absorbed every word. Mommy, do you think I can really be an artist? Oliver asked, skipping ahead, his small hand bouncing with energy as it held the sketchbook. Absolutely, Oliver. You can be anything you want to be, Clara replied, her voice imbued with a newfound determination. Just keep believing in yourself, okay? I will, he shouted, spinning around to face her, his eyes glittering with childhood wonder. She loved how easily he embraced hope, how quickly he rebounded from disappointments. However, as they approached their modest home, Clara felt the familiar weight of reality settle back on her shoulders. The bills awaited her, their stark reminders of her struggles lurking in the shadows of her mind. The promise of dreams felt fragile against the backdrop of their daily grind. The next morning, Clara woke up with the sunrise, allowing the golden light to seep through the curtains. Oliver was still asleep, his gentle breathing filling the room with a sense of peace. For a moment, she hesitated, unsure of what the day would hold. As she prepared breakfast, Clara's thoughts drifted back to the theater. Ethan's words echoed in her mind. You were doing an amazing job. His simple kindness had cracked open a door that had been sealed shut by worries. She had spent many nights worrying whether she was enough for Oliver, but now a tiny spark of hope ignited within her. Mommy, look, Oliver exclaimed, rushing into the kitchen, holding a drawing of a dragon soaring through a colorful landscape. I drew this for you. Clara knelt beside him, her heart melting. It has incredible, Oliver. What is the dragon's name? His name is Blaze. He protects the castle from the shadows. Oliver's enthusiasm was contagious, and Clara found herself smiling wider than she had in weeks. Blaze sounds like a hero, just like you, she replied, ruffling his hair. What do you think? Should we find a way to show everyone your amazing art? Yes, let that so. Oliver shouted, his excitement palpable. Clara felt that flicker of hope transform into a flame. Maybe, just maybe, there was a way to share Oliver's talent with the world. After breakfast, Clara made a decision. She opened her laptop and began searching for community art events. Pine Hill had a yearly festival dedicated to local artists, where young talents showcased their work. It was a chance for Oliver to shine, and perhaps it could reignite her own aspirations. Mommy, I want to draw more dragons, Oliver said as he perched on his stool, sketchbook open, crayons scattered around like confetti. Can I draw all day? Clara chuckled. Well, we need to eat and take breaks, but let us see what more you can create. As days passed, Clara poured her energy into organizing Oliver's participation in the festival. She reached out to local community centers, getting advice on how to set up a booth. She even started sketching again, something she hadn't done in years. At night, while Oliver slept, she would sit at the kitchen table, pencil in hand, drawing under the dim light. It felt liberating, as if she was rediscovering a part of herself she had tucked away. One afternoon, as she and Oliver returned from a park playdate, she spotted a flyer on a community board: Pine Hill Arts Festival call for young artists. It felt like a nudge from the universe, validating her efforts. "Oliver, look, this is it!" Clara exclaimed, holding the flyer. "We have to sign you up." Oliver clapped his hands, his face lighting up. "Can I draw Blaze for the festival?" "Absolutely. Let us make it the best dragon anyone has ever seen," Clara said, feeling the excitement bloom in her chest. The prospect of sharing Oliver's art with the world filled her with a sense of purpose. As they spent long afternoons drawing together, Clara noticed how her worries began to dissipate. The laughter and creativity served as a balm for her soul. She realized that nurturing Oliver's dreams had reignited her own hope, illuminating the path forward. But life, as it often does, threw challenges their way. Just weeks before the festival, Clara received a call from the diner. They were cutting her hours, leaving her with even less income to support them. Her heart sank, a familiar pit of anxiety settling in her stomach. "Mommy, are you okay?" Oliver asked, noticing her silence as he doodled beside her. "Yes, sweetheart, just a little tired, but we have exciting things coming up, remember?" Clara replied, forcing a smile, though her heart felt heavy. "Like the festival, I can't wait." He beamed, and Clara's heart swelled. That night, Clara stayed up late, grappling with her feelings of uncertainty. She weighed the enormity of the challenge against the joy Oliver found in his art. The decision became clear: she couldn't let fear overshadow their dreams. The day of the festival arrived, bright and promising. Clara helped Oliver set up his booth, heart racing with a mix of pride and anxiety. Colorful banners danced in the breeze, and the air buzzed with laughter and music. "Look at all the art, Mommy!" Oliver exclaimed, wide-eyed, as they walked through the festival. He spotted a booth with intricate paintings and another showcasing hand-carved wooden toys. "Yes, Oliver, isn't it amazing?" Clara said, her voice brimming with hope. As they set up, Clara noticed the community's warmth. Families gathered, sharing smiles and stories. It felt like a tapestry of togetherness, a beautiful reminder that they weren't alone in their struggles. Finally, the moment came for Oliver to present his art. Clara felt her heart pound in her chest as he stood proudly beside his drawing of Blaze, its vibrant colors shining against the sun. "Hi, everyone, I am Oliver, and this is my dragon, Blaze. He is really brave," he said, his voice carrying the innocence of childhood. Clara's heart swelled with pride, watching as people smiled and gathered around him. As the hours passed, people praised Oliver's artwork, and Clara felt the warmth of connection and support enveloping them. Each compliment was like a gentle reminder that they were part of a greater community, one that believed in each other's dreams. At the end of the day, Clara felt as if they had reached a milestone. They were more than just a mother and son, they were a team, navigating life's challenges together. The festival was a beacon of hope, a celebration of creativity that had reignited her spirit. Later that night, as they tucked into bed, Oliver turned to Clara with wide eyes. "Mommy, do you think Blaze can be in a movie someday?" Clara laughed softly, brushing his hair back. "With your talent, I wouldn't be surprised. We'll keep drawing and dreaming, okay?" "Okay, and we can tell Ethan Wells," Oliver exclaimed, excitement dancing in his eyes. Clara smiled, her heart brimming with gratitude. They had overcome struggles together, faced fears, and emerged stronger. In that moment, she understood the power of resilience, the beauty of kindness, and the boundless capacity of the human spirit. As she closed her eyes that night, Clara felt a flicker of hope turn into a bright flame. They were on a journey, one filled with challenges, but also with infinite possibilities. It was a reminder that dreams were worth chasing, not just for themselves, but for the love they held for each other. And as dawn broke over Pine Hill, Clara knew that she and Oliver would continue to rise, drawing strength from each other and the connections they forged along the way. They were ready to face whatever lay ahead, hand in hand, hearts intertwined with hope. To be continued. Clara awoke to the soft chirping of birds outside her window, the sunlight spilling into her small kitchen, casting a warm glow that hinted at a promising day ahead. It had been a week since the festival, and while Oliver's dragon, Blaze, hadn't been chosen for special award, the experience had done something remarkable for them both. The community had supported them in ways Clara had never anticipated. "Mommy, look at my new drawing." Oliver's voice cut through her morning reverie. He burst into the kitchen, his hair tousled and his cheeks flushed with excitement. In his hands was the latest masterpiece of dragon, even more majestic than the last, adorned with intricate details and a swelling background of colors. "Wow, Oliver!" Clara exclaimed, kneeling down to get a better look. "He is magnificent. What is his name?" "His name is Storm. He can control the weather," Oliver said, his eagerness spilling out like sunshine. "Storm, huh? That sounds powerful." Clara smiled, feeling the warmth of pride swell in her chest. "You know, I think Storm might be my favorite." "Really?" Oliver grinned, eyes sparkling with joy. "I am gonna draw him some more, and then we can get some paint." "Absolutely. Just remember to eat breakfast first." As they sat together, Oliver wolfed down his cereal while Clara sipped her coffee, feeling the weight of the past few weeks lift just a little more. She found herself daydreaming of galleries and art classes, thinking of how she could support Oliver's burgeoning talent. But shadows still lurked at the edges of her thoughts. Bills were piling up, and her hours at the diner were still cut down. "Hey, what do you say we go to the library today?" Clara suggested, trying to shake off her worries. "They have art books, and maybe we can find some new ideas for your drawings. Can we look for dragons?" Oliver's eyes lit up again, and she couldn't resist the smile that spread across her face. "Of course, dragons everywhere," she affirmed, and together they gathered their things, heading out into the bright day. At the library, the familiar scent of old books filled the air, wrapping around them like a comforting blanket. Clara watched as Oliver eagerly flipped through pages, his small fingers tracing the outlines of colorful dragons and fantastical landscapes. "Mommy, look at this one," he shouted, holding up a book with a shimmering cover. As Clara moved closer, she noticed a fly tucked between the pages. It read, "Summer Youth Art Competition Prizes for Best Artwork." Her heart skipped a beat. This could be Oliver's chance to showcase his talent again and perhaps win something that could help them. "What is that?" Oliver inquired, peering over her shoulder. "Looks cool." "It does. It is a competition for young artists. Do you want to enter?" Clara asked, her voice light yet hopeful. "Yes, I want to draw Storm for it," Oliver exclaimed, bouncing on his feet. Clara felt her heart swell with a mix of excitement and fear. "Okay, let us do it. We'll all need to start working on it right away, but remember, it is not just about winning. It is about having fun and doing what you love." "Right, fun?" Oliver echoed, with his usual exuberance. Within the mission set, they spent the next few weeks dedicating every free moment to creating. Clara found herself sketching alongside Oliver, rediscovering her own passion for art. They transformed the living room into a vibrant art studio, with paper strewn about, colored pencils and crayons scattered across the table, and paint smudges marking their hands and clothes. "Mom, look, Storm is fighting a giant," Oliver shouted one day, showing Clara a scene he had sketched where Storm soared into battle against a massive creature. "He looks brave," Clara responded. "I love how you captured the action. You really make Storm come alive." However, as their artistic escapade continued, the weight of reality pressed harder on Clara. The fridge was nearly empty, and the bills still loomed large. She took a deep breath, determined not to let her worries dampen Oliver's enthusiasm. Every time he beamed up at her, the darkness that sometimes threatened to engulf her subsided, if only for a while. One afternoon, while they were working on Storm, Clara received a phone call from her sister, Rachel. "Clara, I just heard about a community center looking for art instructors. They want someone to lead kids' art classes." Rachel's voice crackled with excitement. "You could really do this?" "Me? Teach art?" Clara felt a rush of disbelief mixed with eagerness. "Yes, you're so talented, and you love art. It could be a great way to earn some extra money and give back to the kids in the community," Rachel encouraged. "I don't know." Clara hesitated. "What if I am not good enough?" "Clara, you're good enough. You've always been. Just think about it. It could be the start of something amazing for you." As they continued their art project, Clara contemplated Rachel's words. For the first time in years, a flicker of possibility ignited within her. A few days later, Clara decided to take the plunge. She submitted her application to the community center, cautiously optimistic. Meanwhile, Oliver worked diligently on his piece for the competition, his energy infectious. "Mommy, can you help me with the colors for Storm's wings?" he asked one day, looking up at her with those big, trusting eyes. He was so determined, so full of hope. "Of course, let us make them the brightest colors we can find." As the days rolled on, they painted and drew, laughter echoing through their home as creativity flowed freely. Clara's heart swelled, each stroke of the brush a testament to their resilience. She felt lighter, buoyed by Oliver's spirit and the realization that they were capable of more than they had ever imagined. Then the day of the art competition arrived. Clara was both excited and anxious, her stomach fluttering as they set up Oliver's display. Storm was vibrant, a breathtaking masterpiece that reflected Oliver's heart and imagination. "Mommy, look, everyone is coming to see Storm," Oliver exclaimed as people began gathering around their booth. Clara held her breath, watching the smiles and nods from the crowd. "This is so amazing, buddy. Look how proud you are," she encouraged him, her heart swelling. They spent the day talking to visitors and sharing Oliver's story. With each compliment, Clara felt her spirit lifting. The community's warmth was palpable, reminding her of the beauty in human connection. As the competition drew to a close, the judges began announcing the winners. Clara squeezed Oliver's hand tightly, her heart racing. In the category of Best Young Artist, the winner is Oliver. The crowd erupted into applause, and Clara gasped, tears brimming in her eyes. Oliver jumped up and down, beaming with pride, and Clara enveloped him in a tight embrace. "You did it, Oliver," she exclaimed. "You worked so hard." "I can't believe it. Storm won," he shouted, his voice filled with pure joy. Later, as they drove home, Oliver cradled his award in his lap, his face glowing with happiness. "Mommy, we should celebrate. Can we get ice cream?" "Absolutely. Today is your day." Clara laughed, feeling the weight of the world lift a little more. They stopped at a local ice cream shop, each indulging in their favorite flavors. As they sat outside in the warm sun, Clara marveled at how far they had both come. "I am so proud of you, Oliver," Clara said, her voice soft but filled with emotion. "Thanks, Mommy, and you know what? I think you should teach art. You'd be the best teacher ever," Oliver declared, his eyes sparkling with belief. "Maybe I will," Clara replied, her heart swelling at the encouragement from her son. In that moment, she felt the weight of her worries dissipate. They were on a journey together, one filled with challenges, but also with endless possibilities. As Clara tucked Oliver into bed that night, she felt a sense of renewed purpose. They had turned their struggles into strength, dreams into reality. And as she kissed Oliver goodnight, she whispered, "Tomorrow, we keep dreaming, okay?" "Okay," he replied, his eyes already drooping with sleep. Clara stepped back, taking one last look at her son, his face peaceful and content. She realized how powerful love and connection could be. Though life would continue to throw obstacles their way, together they would rise hand in hand, hearts intertwined with hope, ready to take on the world. To be continued. The following morning, Clara woke up to the sun streaming through the curtains, painting their modest home in warm hues. The exhilaration from the previous day still lingered in the air, but it was quickly replaced by a familiar tightness in her chest. Today, she would find out if she had been selected to teach art at the community center. "Mummy, let us make more art." Oliver's voice sliced through her thoughts, bursting into the room like a joyful whirlwind. He bounded in, still in his pajamas, his hair sticking up in delightful chaos. "Good morning, artist. How about breakfast first?" Clara smiled, her heart swelling at her son's enthusiasm. "Can we have pancakes with dragons on them?" Oliver's eyes sparkled with mischief. "Dragons it is." Clara laughed, the sound echoing with warmth. She got up and started mixing the batter, trying her best to hide the worries that gnawed at her heart. As they cooked, Clara's mind flickered back to the art competition. Oliver's triumph had lit a fire within her, a reminder that dreams, once thought buried beneath layers of practicality, still flickered like embers waiting to be stoked. Once breakfast was finished and the dragon-shaped pancakes devoured, they settled at the kitchen table, surrounded by a rainbow of art supplies. "Can I draw Blaze again?" Oliver asked, already reaching for his crayons. "Of course, let us see how you can make him even more magical," Clara encouraged, her voice infused with excitement. As Oliver drew, she couldn't help but admire his unyielding spirit. In so many ways, he mirrored the resilience she aspired to embody. "Mommy, if I win next time, maybe I can have a show," Oliver said, his brows furrowing in concentration as he outlined the wings of his dragon. "Absolutely, you can do anything you set your mind to," Clara replied, the words echoing the encouragement she had received from Rachel. After a flurry of drawings filled the table, Clara took a moment to check her phone. There it was, the email from the community center. Her heart raced as she opened it. "Mommy?" Oliver looked up, noticing her sudden stillness. "Just a second, sweet pea," she murmured, her fingers shaking slightly. She scanned the email, her heart pounding. The words jumped out at her. "Congratulations, we would love to have you teach our art program." Tears pricked at the corners of her eyes, and she felt a wave of relief wash over her. "Oliver, I got the job." "What job?" he asked, his crayon pausing mid-stroke. I am going to teach art to kids at the community center, she exclaimed, her voice bursting with joy. Yay, you Regan be the best teacher ever, Oliver shouted, leaping from his chair and wrapping his small arms around her neck. Clara held him tight, feeling a rush of gratitude. Perhaps they were on the cusp of something beautiful, a new chapter that held the promise of connection and creativity. First day at the community center arrived, and Clara felt a whirlwind of nerves as she walked through the doors. The walls were adorned with colorful artwork, each piece a testament to the beauty of imagination. She took a deep breath, reminding herself of the joy she had felt when painting with Oliver. "Hi, you must be Clara," the cheerful voice called out, breaking her reverie. Clara turned to see a woman with kind eyes and a warm smile extending her hand. "I am Marisol, the center director. We were so glad to have you on board." "Thank you, I am excited to be here," Clara replied, the warmth of Marisol's demeanor soothing her nerves a bit. As the day unfolded, Clara found herself surrounded by a group of eager children, each one radiating the same unbridled enthusiasm that Oliver possessed. They ranged in age from 6 to 12, each with their unique style and flair for creativity. "Alright, artists, today, we're going to create our very own mythical creatures." Clara beamed at the group, her excitement contagious. "Can we draw dragons?" the girl with curly hair asked, her eyes wide with wonder. "Absolutely. Let us make the biggest, most colorful dragons we can imagine," Clara encouraged, her heart soaring as the children began to sketch. Laughter filled the room as they exchanged ideas and inspiration, and in that moment, all her worries melted away. As the weeks passed, Clara found her footing in the role of instructor. She watched as the children blossomed, each creating magical worlds that sparked their imaginations. It reminded her of the bond she shared with Oliver, the joy of creating together. One afternoon, while they were working on their projects, a boy named Leo raised his hand. "Miss Clara, how do you make your art so pretty?" "Thank you, Leo. I just draw from my heart," she replied, and remembered that it is okay to make mistakes. They can lead to beautiful things. Leo nodded, his brow furrowing in thought, and Clara felt a sense of pride swell within her. She was not just teaching art, she was nurturing their spirits and instilling hope. However, life outside the community center remained a struggle. Bills piled up relentlessly, and with her teaching schedule still in its infancy, Clara was barely scraping by. Each evening, she returned home to the same mountain of worries, a stark reminder of her reality. One day, after a particularly grueling shift at the diner, Clara found herself sitting at the kitchen table. She stared blankly at the stack of bills before her, feeling the weight of the world pressing down. "Mommy, can I show you my new drawing?" Oliver asked, breaking her trance. He held up a vibrant image of Blaze, this time soaring above a rainbow. "Go, Oliver, that is beautiful," Clara exclaimed, though her mind remained clouded with worries. "Do you think Blaze can be real?" he asked, his big eyes searching hers. "Of course, he is real in your heart," she replied softly, not knowing if it was true for herself too. After Oliver went to bed, Clara sat in the dim light, reflecting on her journey. She thought of the joy she felt teaching, the laughter of children, and the way they lit up when creating. She realized that, despite the challenges, she was nurturing not only their dreams but her own. That night, she had a dream that felt surreal yet vivid. She stood in front of an art gallery filled with Oliver's artwork, people admiring the dragons as they flowed through the room. A voice echoed, "Believe in the magic of dreams." When she awoke, she felt a renewed sense of determination. She had to find a way to make their dreams tangible, to share Oliver's talent beyond their small town. Together, they would find a way to turn their challenges into opportunities. The next day, Clara approached Marisol after class. "I have an idea," she began, her voice steady. "What if we host an art exhibition featuring the kids' work? It could bring the community together and showcase their talent." Marisol's face lit up. "That is a fantastic idea. We could also invite local artists to participate." Clara's heart raced at the thought. "And maybe we could sell some of the pieces to support the center and the artists." "Yes, let us make it happen." Marisol agreed, her enthusiasm infectious. As Clara left the center, her mind buzzed with possibilities. She pictured extensive flyers, vibrant colors, and all the children's art displayed with pride. It was a tangible way to celebrate the creativity they had cultivated together. Over the following weeks, Clara worked tirelessly to bring the exhibition to life. She coordinated with parents, gathered supplies, and encouraged the children to create their best pieces. Oliver was especially excited, dreaming up new dragons and fantastical landscapes. "Do you think people will like my art, Mommy?" he asked one night as they colored together. "Absolutely. They were going to love it because it comes from your heart, she reassured, ruffling his hair. As the day of the exhibition approached, Clara felt a mix of anticipation and anxiety. She had poured her soul into this event, hoping it would uplift the community as much as it uplifted her. On the day of the exhibition, the community centre was abuzz with excitement. Clara stood nervously at the entrance, watching families and friends trickle in, their faces lighting up with wonder as they viewed the art. "Look, Mommy, there's my dragon," Oliver exclaimed, rushing over to his artwork proudly displayed on the wall. "Everyone loves it." Clara beamed, feeling a swell of pride. The event was alive with laughter, clinking glasses, and conversations flowing like the vibrant colors of the art on display. Clara felt an overwhelming sense of connection among everyone, a reminder of the beauty of community and creativity. As the evening drew to a close, Clara took a moment to reflect on how far they had come. She could see how Oliver's dreams were alive and thriving, and they were woven together with her own, two hearts beating in harmony, united by hope and resilience. "Mommy, can we do this again?" Oliver asked as they packed up. "Absolutely, buddy. This is just the beginning," she replied, her heart swelling with pride. Amid the laughter and joy, Clara felt a shift within herself. She understood that their journey would continue to have struggles, but they had built a foundation,